rainy day jobs. Lovely.
Please God, give them strength. Please God.
Alright, good morning. I'm going to be showing you how to make Ronnie rigs today. These are the three components I use. Hook ring swivels, size 4, long shank curved barb points and hook beads. And good old shrink tubing. I first started off with I did it all at home, to be perfectly honest with you. I rarely make them up on the bank. The bit I make up on the bank is the hook link material I'm going to use. Sometimes I vary that as well. So I like to not to make that decision until I'm actually sort of there. Yeah, they're a bit short. Never good when you do that. They should all roughly, cut them in half, they should all roughly be about the same size. Do a couple of other ones of those, wasn't concentrating. But you just hold it like that and then just in the middle. Half is roughly about right. Alright, the first thing to do, I find, is get my hook. Now what I have forgotten to get out is my tub of swivels. So what I've got on my little fishing drawer behind me. It's like magic with a lot of clanging and banging. Yep, there we go. A pile of these. Now this is the bit I generally do first. What I do is I put that on first. And grab one of these. You can do it either way around. I just find it's a bit more neater if you do it that way around. Sort of like a smoother curve. Some pike crimping pliers, doesn't really matter what you use. I just want to sort of just close that gap back up, not a lot. It's enough to get that tubing over there. And then over the swivel, and just dump it in the pot. So what I'll do is I'll do 4 of these. Pause and then do those two are determined to stay together. So right, and then just do that. As I said, you can do it both ways, but it doesn't really matter. As I said, I just sort of close that down. To be perfectly honest with you, I sometimes use my teeth, but that's probably a bit unadvisable, really. Don't do it much. It just opens it when I put it through the hook eye. It just opens itself up a little bit. I just like to close it back down just to sort of make it a little bit smoother. So we'll do 4 of these. Yeah, I never really like to decide what I'm using. Stiff rig material or not. I think I told you to do it with my teeth. You've got to be very careful that you don't stick the hook in there. Then I just do that out of habit. So yeah, I wouldn't advise that one. Let's do that. Put it in there, and then what I do is I boil a kettle. Bung some boiling water in there. Leave it for 5 or 10 minutes. So as you can see, that swivel isn't really, or that clip there isn't really open a lot. As soon as you put it through there, it opens up. So you've got to close it back down a little bit. Now I've got all fat fingers, and now I've got my hook stuck in me. That's good. You can tell these are needle sharp hooks, can't you? Very important. Needle sharp hooks. So I'm just going to do it myself. You can tell I don't normally do it with the pliers. I'm just trying to sort of be proper. I'm not encourage people to do what I'm doing. Damage the teeth. You don't want to be damaging your teeth, do you? But yeah, so just do that. Make that over there like that. Put that in there. So I'll do 10 of them actually. I might as well. I've got to do. So I tend to try and I'll do 10, do a packet. Once I've done them, put them back in there and then choose when I'm down the lake. what I actually want to material I want to use. I said sometimes I use stiff, sometimes I use semi-links, semi-stiff. Other times I use combi link style, really. You know, a long bit of stiff with a nice little bit of soft at the end. What I have been known to use sort of semi-stiff, that is going to be too long, so I need to cut a little bit off that. As I said, the beauty of doing it at home, it does mean to make things just a little bit easier. Yeah, I think that one's going to be too long as well, but hey, this is what it is now. It doesn't really matter, to be perfectly honest with you. It's quite handy. These come in 10 hooks. These come in 20. And I use 2 beads. I'll explain why I use 2 beads. I just don't like the thought process of one. Just having it sort of neat and tidy. I said I shouldn't do that, but I've been doing it like that for a long time. Just old habits. We all know old habits die hard, don't they? Yeah, I'll just explain what I'm on about here. I said I don't think it really makes much difference by the time the shrink tubing comes down. It's just a nice sort of gentle curve, but it's just, I think it's how I've done it for a long time, really. Yeah, when you buy the shrink tubing, it does come in also, I've never yet, which I'm now about to do probably, usually stick the hook in my mouth if I'm not careful, my lip if I'm not careful. Never done that yet. Anyone's wondering. Yeah, it's just nice to get it all done at home. Just do that, put them on there, and then just tie the knots up, because this is the fiddly bit, and as I get older, easy to do, isn't it? Right, so that can, just sit like that in there. Right, tidy up, put the kettle on, and I'll come back to you. Alright, we're back now. So I literally fill the kettle up with boiling water. I always do a fresh boil. Make sure the kettle has boiled. And then put it in there, give it about 5 minutes or let it boil. Micro hook beads. So now, the older I get, the more fiddly they become. So, hopefully they haven't all run away. And then hook beads. As I said, perfect. You get 10 in one pack, 20 in the other. It's just as though you need them for that. Right, so one of these. Now, I always thread fiddly. Look at the bumbly end up here. Push it down, and that one goes all the way out the bottom. I push it into the shrink tubing. So that's why I like it. I like it to have that great amount of movement. Now, I do adjust that movement if you get weird finicky bites and funny things, which is why I adjust the material as well. When I first push this on here, I just leave it like that. I suppose I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll show you. I'll just leave it like that generally, but then I push it down to a little bit opposite there, because obviously if I'm using a pop-up, I want it to sit like that. If I'm using a wafter, I actually push it to about the bead about there, opposite the hook point. But depending where the hook ends up in the mouth, do adjust this, because sometimes I want a lot of movement and sometimes I don't. Now, I don't really believe, personally, in certain situations and certain bottoms, it makes a great deal of difference, and that is going to get people really going, because they'll tell you otherwise. My thought process is it's really how the carp are actually feeding on that given day, that given time, and that given moment. And whether they have confidence or don't have confidence in feeding, they're just fighting for food, or they're just mooching around randomly picking stuff up. That, I think, dictates more how they pick up the food than what bottom they're on. Because all we know is that carp will just hoover whatever's up. Whatever they don't want, they'll just hoof out their gills. So you can, if they really want, just suck up stones, rocks, and all sorts of, well, I say rocks, pebbles, snails and things like that. Look at my finger. You can see why I do it at home, because I can drop things, don't lose everything. Now, I think it's not necessarily about the fishing situation. More importantly, it's about how your fish feed in your lake. That, given moment and time, that can be different from week to week. So I have a standard setup I use. Got a trouble getting that in there, and I just work on from there. And the same as the hook link material. I favour a stiff boom, and then if things will transpire from there, I just fiddle around. I have the fortunate pleasure of only having to use 2 rods, so it becomes less easy to tinker with things. Obviously, if the fish are giving you weird bites, you can tinker with 3 rods. Whereas if the fish aren't giving, you can only tinker with 2 rods. I doubt you'll be able to hear it. Hopefully you can't. But today, absolutely lashing it down. Clearly no gardening. Clearly no fishing. And one of my subscribers, who I met, called Darren, asked me if I could do this for him. So, Darren, hopefully you'll watch this, and it'll give you a little bit of insight into do it. It's so much easier at home, especially when you're like me and seem to develop fat fingers. What I'll do is see if I can find some rig material. I can't even hold my micro swivels. I'll tell you what I was having fun with this weekend, is trying to thread the floss through there. Wow, I might actually do a little bit on the end of this. How you put my hook bits on, I think, as well. But trying to show someone a video how to tie a knot is not impossible. But yeah, I'm trying to thread floss. As I find, because I'm going to be catching fish in the middle of the night at the moment. If glasses steam up, it's a bit of a pain. Don't forget when you do the old ring swivels that it's the ringy bit that goes on here and the micro bit, the swivel goes on there. I don't know if you've spotted that, but I thought I'd better mention it. Well, we're nearly there, so you end up literally with a pack of 10 of these, all done and ready, which go in my fishing bag. You did that around the wrong way. The reason why I like, see, where's it gone? There we go. Right, so I'll show you now why I like to do it, because sometimes the shrink root tubing always work very well. I've got a real sort of opening end there, so you can actually push that into there, and it's just like things to be a little bit neat and tidy. A little bit neat and tidy. As I said, it comes in a packet of 20. They don't cost much. A couple of quid. Just for a little bit of neatness. Now I've got 3 there. With one's gone running away. There you go. So hold up. I'm bouncing a pointy end on first. Push it round, down, into there. And swivel on with the big ring. This time it's pointy end sticking out. Yeah, like that. Just push it down with your nail. It'll be a bit gentle, you can split them. All chunky nails and things. Righty ho. There we go, that goes on there. And that maybe goes on there. Crumbs. That goes on there. Tell you what we'll do, we will do the whole shebang. Just for old time's sake. Look at that. Beautiful, perfect. Right, let's go and get them other bits and bobs. I'll do the other bits. Rightio, so I'm back now. I'm going to do is I'm going to put all these in here, so I'll just dump all those in there. Just take me ages to find bits and bobs. Realise me hook baits are in the garage. And yeah, not brave enough to go out there yet. I'm on soon. I'll do up 2 for you. I'll just have to chop them up because, as I said, I don't do them on the bank. I'm going to do them on the bank. So you might notice my floss comes like that. It doesn't. It comes in a box. And I think it's just all about space. Right. I'm going to use chopped filament. As I said, it's quite like using the stiff stuff. But you've got to. It's, you know what it's like to try to tie up this stuff. You've got to. I'll tie up one with this. You've got to warm it up so it's just goes straight. So I just find that's what I do it. It's just literally just run my hand down it like that. There you go, and it just sort of straightens out a lot easier. You do it a little bit more. So it's it's up to you what length of hook link material you want to use. I've used sort of up to 18 inches and down to sort of that size, depending if you're putting in a bag or not, so it doesn't really matter really. So this is how I do it. People have got different knots, but I just prefer my knot. So I just sort of get the right length I want, squeeze it up here like this, try not to stick my finger in my thing, do this. I now use a tool because I just sort of find it easier. I use a little latchkey ones for everything you use, baiting needle and everything. You go through there once. I just find if I hold it now, it's because I'm getting old and we're a bit arthritic and things, so it's just easier to do. And as I said, it's not too bad doing this on the bank. So it's gone through 3 times now. Get the end and then pull it tight, not too much. Grease it. And I always just gently push it down like that. Move it down to get exactly where I want it. Some people really yank it prior to that, but then it just gives the line a bit of kinks and things. Get hold of that, get hold of this, pull it tight, and then chop this off wherever you want to do it. Now, I leave a little tag that sort of sticks out like that. I don't think it really makes much difference really. It might even help if it catches and just knocks things and twists things around. Some people blob it down. I'll show what I mean in a moment. I do the hook bait. Other people don't. So, as I said, if you just keep doing this, keep doing this, warm it up, and it will do it. Some people do it over kettles and things, but Can't do this in this video. I have to do a big loop. It's do my hands, as I said. I don't really want to understand people want to waste things, but it's just me and how I do it. So I've never found the needs to do a hook pulling devices. Perfectly honest with you, you can do that. What I did forget to do is put this on first. Generally put one of these on first because it's easier. I'll try and do it now. In fact, so much easier than trying to do it afterwards. It might not even work, but there we go. Okay. Too much concentrating and not enough. Not enough thought process going in for me. What I'm doing. Yeah, I might abandon that. Abandon that one. So what sometimes you can do, and I do, is cut it a little bit there. Yeah, just very careful. You don't stick the old latchkey needle thing in yourself. I think why I like using the latchkeys is that you get more clumsy as you get older. You're getting less clumsy if you do that. So you've now got your rig. There's another reason why I don't sort of do it on the bank is because that's realistic my rig board with a few bits and bobs in a box to stack on top of each other. Whereas giant rig boards, it's all about space again. So bit of floss, chop a little bit of floss off, and you'll boil it. I'll use something a bit colourful to show you. Now, thread that through that. Thread that through that. Said, use the latchkey needle for everything I do. I've done for years. You don't need all this other stuff. Now I'll try and sort of pull it so you end up with a good thick bit of floss there. Get the old rocket light up. Burn it down. Let it cool down for a few seconds, but literally a few seconds, and then just blob it down so you get a nice big blob like that. What I like to do sometimes, if you want to lengthen the hair, you can actually have it so you sort of like push the swivel if you want to shorten the hair into the thing before you pull it tight and blob down. Or if you want to lengthen the hair, you just leave it sticking like that. Sometimes I actually pull it out, have it a little bit further out, which I might have done wrong on it too much, so you can actually sort of moves around a little bit more like that as well. It's worth playing, and then just see where the hook hole ends up in the fish. And if it's where it's supposed to be, then you know you're doing well. If it's starting to be where it's not supposed to be, outside the mouth and silly things like that, you know it's not quite the right idea. But yeah, that sort of. So I don't know. I think I've cut this one too short. A bit of effort. Pull. Yeah. Yeah. Now the hook go all over the place. So when you pull it over yourself, it just instantly turns. Always instantly turns these rigs, don't they? And the hook, as I said, you saw the pop up, just roll around the side of my hand then, and hook point goes more or less straight in. So yeah, as I said, sometimes I use my chod filament, or I use the semi-stiff, a little bit more stiffer stuff. It's all down to your own personal choice, what you do, and everything like that. I might actually leave this rig laid up. I'm gonna get rid of that because I don't want that. That can go back in my pot because that's got to go back in my day fishing pot. And if I forget about doing my day fishing pot, I'll get there and find I've got no pop-ups, which is problematic. Let's leave that one like that. So yeah, you just literally just dispose of that. The rig is there like that, absolutely perfect. So you have to rub along there, just warm it up so it goes stiff. Good old chod filament. But it gets there. Once it's straight, it stays straight, which is what you want really. And then the rig can just set up nicely like that. Right, well, I hope that's useful for everybody. What I generally do normally is with the rigger, what I use is just a safety clip, so I can get it out. So, on safety clip. Obviously, get a swivel that goes over that, as we all know. Safety clip. Little swivel with a. I don't know if I've got any of them around really. Little swivel with a hook on it's what I generally use. Similar sort of thing to the choddy swivels, but without the big ring, and then just put it really tight and right down, and that sits in there nicely, reasonably stiff with the ring. I never bother putting the pin through there. Don't like that at all. You know, I like it to hold its ground, or if necessary, move a little bit. And then if it really gets snagged, that pulls off anyway, and then the lead pulls off. I don't very often. I just generally try and pull it so it's just over that little bobbly bit there. Then you've got a bit of effort to pull the lead off, which I haven't got around with me either. But that's how I really like to do it. I don't like it completely all welded together. In fact, even if it turns into, I've even been known to put a little bead on the end here and use it as a running rig recently over the years. But it's all down to where you fish and how well the fish behave where you're fishing really. Check that off. It's always good to put, you want to put them back on, or you want to replace them. Just get a little bit of saliva in it and go through it. So the reason why I like using these is because you got the hook on. Just no, I'm going to stick it in my hand. Just dry your hand out a little bit and then just pull it through and get to about there. There we go, perfect. So there's the bin. They can be saved. Putting stuff in. That is all we really need for this. Hopefully that was helpful for you all.